6 days ago, three of the four most talked about teams heading into this tournament were still alive, and by the end of round of 16, only one of them was left. Brazil is out, Portugal is out, and the United States is out. Which means the World Cup you thought you were watching in June is not the World Cup you're watching now. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which 8 teams are left, why the bracket looks nothing like the pre-tournament predictions, and which of these 8 has the clearest path to the trophy. Here's what actually happened. 8 teams remain, split across 2 separate paths through the bracket. Win your side, and you play for the trophy. Lose, and the tournament ends immediately. No group stage safety net, no second chances. That's the part casual viewers forget about the knockout stage. Every match is do or die, so ranking these teams isn't really about who looked best on paper back in June. It's about who's playing with the least fear right now, in July, when it actually counts. One side of the bracket has France, Morocco, Spain, and Belgium. The other has England, Norway, Argentina, and Switzerland. If you're enjoying finally understanding how this tournament works, this is a good moment to subscribe. Let's rank all 8, starting from the team with the shakiest path forward. Number 8, Switzerland. Switzerland reached the quarterfinals by beating Colombia in a match that had no goals in 90 minutes, no goals in extra time, and was only settled by penalties. That's not really a criticism of Switzerland, so much as it's a warning about what penalties actually measure. A shootout rewards nerve, not necessarily quality. And a team that needed one just to survive the round of 16 hasn't shown enough yet to be trusted deep into a bracket that only gets harder from here. Number 7, Belgium. Belgium beat the United States comfortably, and doing that in front of a co-host's home crowd, with everything on the line, is a genuinely impressive result. But there's a difference between a dominant knockout win and a dominant tournament. Belgium has looked good in isolated bursts for years, without consistently turning that into deep runs. So one strong match is a promising sign, not yet proof they've solved that pattern. Number 6, Norway. Here's the one that should surprise you. Norway beat Brazil, the country with more World Cup titles than anyone else in football history, a team most predictions had reaching at least the semifinals. Gone. And Norway didn't sneak past them, they beat them outright. That's a real accomplishment, and it says something about how dangerous this squad is right now. But beating one giant doesn't guarantee you can do it again, and Norway still has to prove this wasn't a single extraordinary night. Number 5, Morocco. Morocco beat Canada comfortably in the round of 16, and eliminating the Netherlands the round before that was one of the bigger statements of the entire tournament. 2 results like that back-to-back is a pattern, not a fluke. Morocco has quietly built one of the more balanced squads left in the field, strong defensively and dangerous enough going forward to punish teams that underestimate them, which, at this point, fewer teams can afford to do. Number 4, Spain. Spain beat Portugal by a single goal, and that scoreline undersells what actually happened. That match ended Cristiano Ronaldo's final World Cup appearance, the closing chapter of one of the most decorated careers the sport has ever seen, and Spain were the team that wrote the ending. Beating a legend on his way out, in a match that tense, takes a level of composure most teams simply don't have under that kind of pressure. Number 3, Argentina. Argentina trailed Egypt for most of the match. Egypt, a team that wasn't supposed to be this close to the tournament's final 8, and Argentina still found 3 goals in the second half to win it anyway. Good teams win when the plan works. Favorites win when the plan falls apart and they find another way regardless. Messi has been at the center of that comeback in what may be his final World Cup, and there's something to a team that refuses to lose even while it's losing. Number 2, England. England beat Mexico 3-2, and on the surface that looks like a shaky back-and-forth win, but look closer at what it actually required. England had to answer Mexico twice, in a co-host stadium, and did it both times without losing composure. A team that can absorb pressure like that and still find the answer isn't fragile, it's battle-tested. And battle-tested teams tend to hold up better the deeper a tournament goes. And number 1, France. France eliminated Paraguay, the same Paraguay that had already knocked out Germany the round before. Which means France didn't just win a match, they beat a team that had already proven it could beat one of the tournament's traditional powers. France has now cleared 2 knockout rounds without a real scare, playing as a co-host with the tournament structure, and in the later rounds, a great deal of the crowd, potentially working in their favor. Quietly efficient tournaments are usually the ones that end in finals, and right now, no team left in the bracket looks more efficient than France. Here's the pattern worth noticing across all 8 results. Every single team that reached the quarterfinals did it by beating someone who was supposed to be tougher than them on paper. Germany's out, The Netherlands are out, Brazil, Portugal, the United States, Mexico, Canada, Colombia, all gone. The World Cup has a way of doing this, rewarding the teams that peak in July over the teams that were impressive in June. And if this tournament has taught us anything so far, it's that reputation gets you into the bracket, but it doesn't get you through it. So here's the most interesting idea to sit with. France sits at the top of this list, not because they've been the most thrilling team to watch, but because they haven't needed to be. Efficiency is a quieter kind of dominance, and it's very hard to argue with a team that keeps winning without ever looking rattled. Do you think a team that wins through composure, like France, is more dangerous long-term than one that wins through emotion, like Argentina, and which result still surprises you the most? Norway beating Brazil, or Ronaldo's World Cup era ending against Spain? I'd genuinely like to know what you think. You're welcome. Subscribe if you enjoyed this type of content. It means a lot.